Hi guys, it's Sarah from Book Nerds and Fangirls, and today I will be doing a Top 5 Wednesday. Quick disclaimer before I start off, it is rainstorming outside, and my cat, if she hates anything, she hates rainstorms. She also hates a lot of other things, but rainstorms are her definite hatred. Like, I was just about to try recording 5 minutes ago, and she was sitting here making sounds that I've actually never heard her make before. So I think, because usually whenever it's thunderstorming, I'm usually asleep and she'll come running up to the room and try to cuddle me. But she made great sounds of displeasure when she saw it outside today. So, if my cat's in my frame more now, sorry, not sorry, she's my cat and I know it scares her. And I know she's just scared and she wants her mom. So, she'll be probably with me on the shots if you see her tail or see her body or anything, or if she tries to go towards the computer screen, because she does that. I would like to quickly apologize, but she's my cat and I love her anyway. And right now she's kind of being goop and floating my paper on her head, but she's good. Okay, so today's subject for Top 5 Wednesday was our top 5 favorite second books in series. And for me, if you guys know me, I hate second books in the series. I never mesh well second books in the series, and this topic was beyond hard for me to do because I do not like second books. But I did find 5 second books in the series that, while they might not be my favorites, because they're all in companion series or trilogies, they definitely don't suffer from second book syndrome, and I can totally relate to them. So let's get started. Starting off at a quick honorable mention, because I'm listening to it right now, and I'm actually liking it way better than I did the first book. Like, if you watched the first books, if you watched my first book talk on this one, it was actually the first rant I ever did on this one, and that was Throne of Glass. But right now, I'm listening to the audiobook of Crown of Midnight, because there's no way I'm going to spend money on any more Throne of Glass novels. I'd rather just listen to them on audiobook. But yeah, so I'm listening to the second audiobook of that one, and I like it way more than I did the first one, probably because there's more Cale in it, and Cale is my favorite character. From I heard about the series, he starts to dwindle down in it. Like, there's hardly any mention of him at all in Empire Storms, I've heard, and I'm just not down for that. And the only reason I started, like, actually getting back into Throne of Glass is because I heard they're coming out with Tower of Dawn, and I love Cale, so I'll probably check that one out. Hopefully it's a separate story than anything. I'm sorry, my cat's knocking my stuff out of focus. Being a silly girl over here. So let's get started. Coming in number 5 is Wings of the Wicked by Courtney Allison Moulton. This is the second book in the Angel Fire series, and I don't remember 100% about this book. I remember that the second book was a great one, and went off on a pretty huge cliffhanger. One of my favorite characters was severely injured in this one, and I was just all like, no, you can't end it like that. But it ended on a high note too. So this series was hard, because the first book I love in this series, second book I love in the series, and the third book. It's one of my favorite series. I don't talk about this book enough, but it doesn't suffer from second book syndrome. The fourth book will be on a lot of people's list, I feel, and that's Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. While this is not my favorite Harry Potter book or movie, for that matter, I have to say that I definitely do enjoy this book way more than I enjoyed Sorcerer's Stone. And this is actually one of the very few older hardcovers I actually have had since I was a kid, so of course I'm going to boast about this book. The third book I have here is Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins. This is the second book in the Hunger Games trilogy, and I love this one. Like, the first book was okay, and the third book, I hated the third book. It was so boring, and I hated the deaths in that one. It's just, what death, Sarah? Every death I hated, except maybe like 2. There was 2 deaths I was totally okay with, and the rest just sucked. So while I was picking my favorite second book, I have to go Catching Fire because it's definitely the arena for this one. I like the contestants better in this one than I did the first one. The only contestant I ever actually liked in the first one was Katniss and maybe Rue. At times, I didn't like any of the other tributes. Thrash was okay, but I was really there for Katniss and Rue. And in this book, I was here for almost all the tributes that Katniss aligned herself with. I was totally there for it. And I just couldn't get enough of this book, and it's my favorite in the trilogy. The second book comes as a surprise because I really hate the Throne of Glass series. So when I read Sarah J. Maas's other series called A Court of Thorns and Roses, I completely fell in love with this book, and that is A Court of Mist and Fury. A Court of Thorns and Roses was okay, but as soon as I got to A Court of Mist and Fury, I jumped onto this ship so fast. This second book, it doesn't even feel like it's a part of the same series. It feels like it's a part of a way better series than what I was originally given. And I'm so glad that I took my time with this series and didn't start reading them until the series was completely over, so I didn't have to wait for this book. Because from what I heard, a lot of people hated the first book, and a lot of people who hated the first book didn't pick up the second book, and they really should pick up the second book, because the second book is amazing, and it's worth all the hype, and I love it so much. I can't stop saying good things about A Court of Mist and Fury. So if you haven't picked this book up, definitely pick this book up. But pick up the first one, because you might need some background information. But just push through the first book, get to the second book, you won't be disappointed. This one. And then last but not least, you knew this book was coming. Ladies and gentlemen, you knew I was going to include this book. And are you surprised that it goes to anything besides A Torch Against Night by Sabathir? An Ember in the Ashes was an amazing book, and I was so afraid that Sabathir would not top it with A Torch Against Night. And then I got wind that my favorite character, Helene, had entries in here, and we got chapters from her point of view. And, well, I'm not the hugest Laia fan. She did grow on me a little bit more in this book. I still don't like Laia, still not down for that character. I love Elias, but let me be clear, I am here in this book for one person only, and that is Helene Aquila, because she is the epitome of awesome for me. I love her to death. So whenever I got my hands on this book, I was so amazed by her storyline. It is what made this second book for me. What happens to Helene in this novel was heart-wrenching and cruel, and I can't even express words how sad I was that there wasn't a Ember in the Ashes book this year. Might come next year, not 100% sure if she's gonna write it next year, but I really hope she does, because I really gotta know what happens to my baby in this book. So if you haven't picked up an Ember in the Ashes, or if you didn't like Ember in the Ashes, because you hated Laia, but you loved Helene, pick up this book. I love Helene so much, and it really did get better. The storyline was intense. I felt on the edge of my seat, and it was the only book last year that got me out of my reading slump because it was so epically amazing. And I'm not really a huge fantasy book person. Like, I was a fantasy lover when I was younger, but now I'm a contemporary lover. love her, but Torch Against this book series, this continuation, is really awesome, and I love it. So pick it up, or you'll be sad you didn't. And there you guys have it. That was my top 5 second books in the series. What are some second books in the series that you enjoy? And with that, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!